Good morning.
Hello.
How are you, Chris?
I'm all right.
Yeah, well, good. I'm all right too, and we're here. And really quick, between the last time we did a live and this morning, Mint with Card has joined the channel. So even before pleasantries with my guests, we need to properly welcome Mint with Card to the channel. And we all know what that means. If I can find it, there we go.
Bring out the off. Bring out the off. Bring out the off.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Anyway, sorry, Gal Gadot. You're a joke now. You're a joke to me. Anyway.
She
there's
did it
no
to
way-
herself.
Well, yeah. Well, she started doing too much acting, and we're like, ooh. But now, anytime that clip of anywhere, like even if I'm watching a video in that clip of with enough champagne to feel the night, I don't know, but now I have to do the big gesture, like. Anyway, thanks, Gal Gadot. Like enough champagne, because I guess if you act with your hands, it's better.
Hand
Anyway,
acting.
acting, yes. And enough champagne to feel the night. Anyway,
The Nile.
the Nile. Anyway, anyway, thank you, Mint with Card. Welcome. You will find members of the channel will find that you got 2 early releases of shorts that will release within the next few weeks. One of which was voted on by the members, which is a very cool. I took a Wonder Woman 298 cover from 1980 some such by some dude named Frank Miller and Dick Giordano.
Ugh.
I just got demonetized by saying Dick Giordano. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted, guys. Anyway, and I turned it into a coloring page, and that is an exclusive. It will be available to everyone on the 18th. And then I just had the desire to do a Addams Family sound clip of Debbie Ballerina Barbie, Malibu Barbie, with a Malibu Barbie page. So that's also up for the members as of this morning. And it'll go live much later, because, Anyway, so that's the sort of fun our silver members get, early releases. And the Wonder Woman was one of the shorts voted for. Nobody broke the tie, so eventually the second page that somebody voted for will become a short as well. I believe in democracy, and when there's a tie, instead of having a runoff, I'll just do both. At my whim. Anyway, so that's that stuff. And full extra extended edition speeder bike chase from Friday on Color and Chill will be, I think, next Wednesday after next. You get it in an hour, no music, no sound. You put your own music on. Anyway, okay, we're done. Oh my god, it's exhausting having a membership.
I wouldn't know.
Right. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Chris. One day. You can't even be a member of Geek Dad Life. And good morning, CJ. Welcome to see you. And CJ is referencing Mint with Card's new Stratos video. Everyone go subscribe to Mint with Card if you have not. Good morning, Kenzo's Creations. Yeah. No, you're fine, CJ. I will just eventually do both of them. The secret to those polls is if I put it up there, it means I want to color it anyway. So
That's the secret. Only give them a choice. That's something you want to do.
Yeah, right. All choices are stuff I want to do, but for various reasons, they aren't as good of a fit for just dropping into the wild. Anyway, Chris is here. We've talked about me and my membership like the obnoxious YouTuber I am now. We're going to color some pages made from that Halloween Mask coloring book I did a flip through recently because it's really cool. Obviously, I already did them all, but I want to do the witch and the clown again. Definitely, we're going to start with the witch because I was thinking of my aunt earlier today. So the aunt I don't like, not the one I like. The one I like, I would do something pretty for her. But for the aunt I don't like, I'm thinking of her today. It's not her birthday, but it could be the other day. And if so, this will be the day I go visit her grave once every year and poop on it. So anyway.
Well, I was gonna say it's not gonna pee on itself.
Yeah, it's not. And if she gets marble, it's very porous. So, and good morning, Jess. It's lovely to see you. And yeah, welcome. We are here to color. So yeah, we're starting with my aunt. I mean the witch, and oh my god, if she ever figures out how to use YouTube, she'll be so well. I mean, she does, but she doesn't watch the kind of things that would get her over on the fun side of YouTube. She watches crazy conspiracy theory stuff.
Oh, she's gonna stay in the hate bait area.
Yeah, I mean, if I ever get a hit piece by Clownfish, that might show up on her thing, but I think I'm safe from Clownfish.
Oh, we would all be so lucky to be hit pieced by Clownfish.
He chased after Dad at Arms for a while.
Did he?
Yeah, on Twitter, because they even like at one point had Clownfish's wife on there trying to insult him and stuff. Oh, you can't even get a woman. You just like play with your little dollies, you know, because of his Tila. And he was like, here's the wedding cake of my wife of so many years where it's Tila. My wife knows and doesn't care. And then somebody released some new Star Wars stuff and nobody was cared about Motu Revelations anymore, so they left him alone. Because that's how it works when you're that kind of channel. You have to chase the outrage.
Right. Well, and you know, one of the main characters in the new Tron movie is a woman, so I'm sure they're going to be mad about that too.
Oh God. Well, that's fine because I went and saw the new Tron movie.
What'd you think?
I didn't like it. And I wanted to like it because I went and saw Tron Legacy like 7 times, and 5 of those were in 3D. Because and the first Tron, I enjoy it, but it's a hard watch. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a reason that movie flopped. Groundbreaking. There's something there, but like Tron Legacy just brought, for me, your mileage and opinions may vary, but like Tron Legacy for me brought what I really liked about the first Tron and got rid of the stuff I didn't like and made a really cool movie. I feel like if I were pro AI and pro corporations, I would have liked Tron Ares better. It just felt like AI is really cool, guys. And anytime you have Jared Leto in a movie, it's already going to be a hard sell for me. I'm never going to forgive him for the time that at a show in Portland, like 15, 20 years ago, my friend was talking through the set of his very boring, stupid band, and she was 13 or 14 at the time, and he got so mad that she wouldn't shut up during a set, which is kind of rude. But I think we can all agree Jared Leto did not handle this, allegedly, correctly, by jumping into the audience and punching a like 13, 14-year-old girl in the face because she wouldn't stop talking.
Really?
Really? Yeah. So anyway, fudge Jared Leto.
Fudge him right in his fudge hole.
Fudge him right in his ear with a red hot poker and no KY.
It'll take more than 30 seconds to take care of that.
Yeah, more. Anyway, so I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it enough. I paid money and overlooked the Jared Leto of it all. But it just, like, the effects are good. The 9 Inch Nails music is good, but like, it's just like, how do you make Tron boring and put Jared Leto in it and let it be like pro AI and pro corporation? I get what Disney's trying to do, but I don't know. I wanted to love it. He's in it quite a bit. Like, he's technically the star of it.
His character's name's in the title.
Yeah, he's the Ares. Yeah, he just, I don't know. Like, the best thing about everyone's like, oh, he's going to ruin Masters of the Universe as Skeletor. And I'm like, well, one, he is a pompous ass, so he might be the perfect Skeletor. 2, he's method, so there is a like 50-50 chance he'll melt his own face off to really get into the role, which is a win-win. And 2, either way, under all the prosthetics, we're not going to realize it's Jared Leto. Unless they do some flashback of Keldor with Jared Leto. And the irony of the Jared Leto situation is whenever my so-called life was on, I loved Jordan Catalano. I had such the crush on him.
I was gonna say you're age appropriate for it.
Far more age appropriate than the average girl he dates. So there you go. I'm not age appropriate for Jared Leto's taste, apparently. Plus, I'm not joining cults anymore. So like,
you're over your cult phase.
Oh yeah, like I've done enough cults in my life to know like that's just. There's a reason I kept not working out in all of these cults and being super cray-cray. So. Also, cults got tired of my shit because they'd be like, you know, we're not one of those cults that want you to drink the Kool-Aid. And I'd be like, it was actually Flavor Aid. If it had been Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid Man would have burst through the walls and saved everyone at Jonestown. That happened because he was too cheap to get the real Kool-Aid. But you know, that's what happens when you study cults in college, and then because you wanted to be a criminal profile and still joined a couple of them. So you know, when you're in your 20s and 30s, you should be figuring it out. And anytime a cult like wants to make you their high priestess, as long as they don't like kill you at the end of it, I say try it and see what happens.
I mean,
get that crown.
Do you be you, and you know, cult it up a little bit.
You only live once, and you're not coming back unless you get far enough up in the cult, and then you can be reborn multiple times over generations. But I didn't get that far. But I did get that crown, girl. Anyway. Met with card. And I'm not normally a hater. Well, that's not true. I can't even say that accurate. I'm not normally somebody who would be like, don't do it, you'll hate it. But I would say because movies are expensive, and it'll probably be on Disney Plus by next week, I would probably wait for it because it'll be easier to deal with it. I don't know. And it may play better on TV. I will say this. We went and saw the original Tron at the theater in 1982. And that might have been part of the problem because I was very young. It played better for me on VHS. So some movies are just not cinematic. But I don't know. Yeah, there's the problem. He probably will be a big part of it because he's Skeletor, but hopefully he's got enough makeup on. Oh, allegedly Jojo Siwa is like straight now, and she's going to be a trad wife. So culting is happening as we speak. Thank you. See, I'll be in the cute cult. Although at this point, I'm so old that I don't know if I can qualify as cute anymore so much as eccentric.
You know, the best I could hope for is like a cult based around chuds. I could get into the chud cult.
Yeah, you know, like chud cult. The cool chud cult, though, not like
the coolest chud cult.
Not the chud cult that sits around and whines about women in movies. And there were like 3 black people in that movie. What kind of woke nonsense is that? Sir, it was The Color Purple? I mean,
sorry.
Yeah, right. I mean, like everything's so woke. It's like, sir, it's The Color Purple. Like, it's gonna be.
Sir, this is the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yeah, right. It's literally in the title that there are women in this. There weren't enough men in it. Okay. But you're watching a movie called The Isle of Lesbos. I'm just gonna venture a guess that you don't speak any Greek.
I was expecting something different in my defense.
Right? There weren't enough giant red press-on nails and lingerie in it. Yeah, this is what you guys get on a Sunday with me and Chris.
No, I will say I thought if you want to spend money for the spectacle, go ahead and spend it on Tron Ares. Just don't expect
Cinematic greatness. I know most of them. I know the OG. I don't know like some of these new characters. I will say, it's not anywhere handy, but yesterday when we went to the store, they had a bunch of the Loyal Subjects minis, and they had the Rainbow Bright and the Patty O'Green. All of the boxes, I bought her, but all of the boxes of her had a label saying it was Lala Orange. And I was like, this is wrong. And I have that moment where I'm like, I should see if they'll give me like $2 off because this is wrong. And then I was like, just pay for it because you haven't been finding these on the Five Below website. And you are in a part of the country where there is no Five Below. Just buy them.
they're actually building a Five Below here, which is amazing to me.
I wish we would get one because I love them. Like one of my favorite it's weird to say friend in some cases, but like I consider some of the people that do YouTube that I've met through this process friends, even if we have, like you and I are definitely friends because we hang out, like even though it's like this is still hanging out. And then, and we chat on programs and stuff. But this is somebody I technically really only know because we watch each other's channels. But she's my friend. But she always does these great, it's Stacy's Toy Channels, by the way. You guys go follow her and enjoy her stuff. She does often, when she goes to Five Below, she'll film it. And I'm just like, I marvel at what cool stuff they have. Like, she was like in their coloring books, and they just, a lot of it's not stuff I would technically buy because it is made for kids and it's modern. But just the fact that they have that, our Dollar Tree, like, you're lucky if stuff is organized. And that there are, like when we lived in Portland, the Dollar Tree closest to our house, like I went to go there. I was going to go there and I'm like, oh, I'll just wait for tomorrow. And when I went the next day, it was closed and the front windows were like boarded over. I'm like, oh, did they close? And they're like, no, somebody drove their car through it yesterday because they were mad they couldn't get a refund for food they ate. It's like, I could have been here for that.
Like you do.
And I lived in a part of, people have stereotypes about the type of people who do that. But I will say anytime that meth enters the conversation, most of the stereotypes are accurate. So, sorry to any meth heads watching, but
y'all the meth demographic is definitely, key to YouTube success.
Well, if my aunt watched my channel, I might possibly lose part of that key demographic. But luckily, she's watching conspiracies. So, Kenzo gets in the shower when anytime. It seems like he says this anytime you and I are on together, Chris. So, just saying, you make Kenzo feel dirty.
He's my regional YouTube pal.
Kenzo, he is pretty close to you, comparatively.
Right? It's like him and Zach, and then nobody.
Yeah. I was about to say I know a YouTuber in Idaho, but you're right, nobody. But yeah, so. Oh, that's right. All right, guys, I am going to turn the camera off. I forget that I like to do that now so that you guys don't have to look at my hairline. My part in the middle of my head. My giant forehead that gets comments from men on the internet. I haven't gotten the 5-head comment in a while. Which It's sad because I made it so much of my personality that one time I got a comment about my forehead on the internet. But whatever. Whatever.
But yeah,
We all
no,
know.
I was just gonna say back on the Tron thing. After I saw Ares, I went home and watched Legacy again.
Legacy is just so good. Like it was, I mean, like it's not good in the way that like it's gonna win an Oscar good.
No,
Except
it's
for
a
the
good,
effect.
entertaining movie.
It was exact. It was just it had nostalgia in it, but it also tried to make a new story. It took, for me, the first Tron didn't actually have a lot of story. It had a lot of concept, whereas I felt like Legacy really put a story in there. And I'm a fan of Olivia Wilde. I know some people don't like her or whatever, but I enjoy her. And so I thought she was really good as Cora. I don't know, just the it felt like Tron Legacy was the movie I wanted the first Tron to be. Like it felt like it delivered on the imagination and action. And I don't feel like Ares did. I feel like Ares it felt like Disney was like, we need to make something so we can keep this property relevant and do a ride and some toys or something.
It almost feels like to me that they saw a script about like an AI warrior and went, "What if we called it Tron?"
Well, I was watching a good video, a good a pretty well made video this morning by Matt Draper. I've recommended him to the channel to and on these before and dropped his links in the chat. Um so if regular watchers will recognize, but he's a big Tron fan too, and I recently watched his Tron videos to try to hype myself up and get over the Leto of it all. And he didn't pick up on necessarily the corporate AI stuff that annoyed me. But in it, he was talking about how this movie has been in work since Tron Legacy, and that it's gone through a couple different creators, and then it got attached to Leto, who's also an executive producer. And his theory is it only got made because Leto was still there, and it's actually been finished for a while, and they kind of sat on it because of the Leto of it all. So it is what it is, I guess. I mean, it's kind of true though. You do every so often, if you want something to be a franchise, you have to drop something. I just wish they were dropping better movies, frankly.
Well, and Legacy set up just such an interesting like world and concept, and
Yeah. Well, I think what made it even worse was there are a couple different places where they sort of hint at Legacy,
yeah,
where they mention Sam and Cora, and you're like, ooh, like, wouldn't it be cool if there's an end credit scene that has those two characters in it? And there are end credit scenes. There is a mid credit scene. Spoiler alert: those characters are not in it. Like, you want
there's
to get
pictures of them.
yeah, right. We'll pay you to use your image, but
You know who's not even in it? Alan Bradley. Where's Bruce Boxleitner?
right?
You have a movie called Tron and you have no Tron?
Yeah, exactly. That was the other part. Like, and even Matt Draper brought that up. Like, nobody says Tron in the entire movie. Like, I don't know. It feels like whoever wrote it didn't want to write a Tron movie. And Jared Leto still won't let us forget that nobody wanted to watch Mobius. Or is it Morbius? Whatever it is. That terrible, terrible vampire movie from Spider-Man.
I'm not even sure if that I haven't seen that.
Don't.
But I don't. How much of that is on Leto, and how much of that is Sony desperately trying to make Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man?
Well, it's equal parts terrible because of both of them. One, Leto couldn't, despite his past. At some point, Leto has done the Nicolas Cage thing where he had a couple, because Leto used to be a pretty decent actor, but at some point he became aware that he was a pretty decent actor, and he won a couple awards. So now, like, he's just Leto.
Maybe he learned it from Nicolas Cage on Lord of War.
Possibly. But, like, Nicolas Cage was an actor I enjoyed, and then he did Leaving Las Vegas, and he won an Oscar. And now every movie he's Nicolas Cage from Leaving Las Vegas, just in various degrees of, like, notched up. And I agree. Morbius, that's right. Mobius is that amazing artist. Sorry, Mobius. Please don't hate me. He's not my favorite character, but he's a cool character. But Leto is just, I don't know. Whatever. And then Derek Hoover is heading to a birthday party. Probably. You'll probably see us in chats, Derek, if you're lucky.
If you have eyes, Derek.
Yeah, Derek. And then Derek, before he left, let us know that he lives close to Lawrence. I liked the Blade Runner sequel, and I liked it so much that I forgot Leto was in it. I didn't like it better, of course, than the first Blade Runner, but I thought it was a good sequel. And I thought it was a sequel that, like, did more world building. It didn't feel like they were just treading on the original Blade Runner. Beyond, it's a sequel, and anytime you do a sequel, you're treading on, you're digging out the same concepts and stuff. So, like, but I did not feel like they just remade Blade Runner. It felt like they tried to do something. They tried to get some more of the thoughts in there. It's really sad to me that they can't ever, like Blade Runner never hits big, and then it turns into a thing where over years people come to appreciate it. I just felt like Blade Runner would make a good anime.
It really would. Like, that's a world that's just ripe for that kind of storytelling.
Well, that kind of, and that look, like the look of an anime would be just delightful for, like, that world.
Now I'm wondering why that hasn't happened.
Because they don't put me in charge in Hollywood.
Oh, that's it. There you go.
Well, there are repercussions to going to a party when you're in a cult and meeting Tom Cruise and being, wow, you're shorter than I thought you'd be. I mean, he is tiny.
I think I'm roughly the same size as Tom Cruise. Well, I'm fatter, but
if he didn't have gazillions of dollars, he would be the frumpiest of the frumps. But he goes and gets injected and lifted and sucked and, well, liposucked. I mean, probably the other two, but those are like,
enough money.
With enough money, we could all look like handsome, famous, beautiful people.
I can't help but think of the was it like the early aughts that had the I want to look like a celebrity reality TV show?
Yeah, and the Swan. Remember the Swan, where like they would just rip these people apart and then rebuild them, and they all have the same nose at the end of it.
But I just can't help but think of the Patton Oswalt joke on Conan O'Brien that if I wanted to look like a celebrity existed in the 80s, someone's going under with their last words being, make me look like Gutenberg.
Right. Oh, Gutenberg. Wait.
Kalel, no. Kalel, no.
Kalel.
Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone else in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone. What happened to it?
Oh my god, so bad. Anyway.
I thought she was such a good fit for Wonder Woman, but
she was in the first one. And
No.
now that I have all these Gal Gadot sound clips, almost every live stream features a dissertation of the rise and fall of Gal Gadot. The reason Wonder Woman the first one worked is she didn't have a ton of dialogue. And when she did, it was just, oh my God, everything, ice cream is amazing. You know, like she gets to be sort of the wide-eyed doe. And then Chris Pine does all the heavy lifting because Chris Pine is amazing, right? She just gets to sit there and look at him with like pretty eyes while he does all of the heavy lifting. And we just kind of all missed it because it works for that first movie, right? Wonder Woman doesn't understand man's world. So she, I mean, we should have all suspected something was up when they made all of the actresses have the same weird accent. That should have been a sign because the Amazons are multicultural, so they would all technically have different accents anyway. Because the way the Amazons are supposed to work was originally any woman who wanted to become an Amazon could join the Amazon. And as they went on their adventures before they were isolated on Paradise Island, women would join. So, and they went on adventures around the world. So a multicultural, multi-accented Amazon race isn't quite the right, like, nation. Yeah, there we go. It is in line with what the Amazons are. So it, to me, like, I did think that was weird. But then Robin Wright started punching Nazis, and I'm like, this is fine. Like, we're good. Can do this all day. Well, it was the World War I version of them, but still.
Right. They were evil Germans.
Evil Germans. It's close. It's a stereotype that worked. But yeah, so like I think we just didn't notice because of those reasons. Like she didn't have to do a lot other than sort of look great in the costume. The action, I mean, she's great at like the physicality of the role. You know, like I will not, you know, nobody is going to take in my presence will take away from the fact she had the physicality of the role. They should have probably just dubbed her like they did Andie MacDowell and Tarzan with Glenn Close. But anyway, you know, it's Wonder Woman. It might take a couple, she's an icon. Like it should be fine if it takes a couple of different actresses to get it just right. As long as it ain't AI, y'all. Anyway. Good morning, Hello Geek. Welcome. Hello Geek will be here shortly, in a few weeks. Exactly. Well, even with money, though, Khloe Kardashian she's still a C. Like, you know, she looks better. Also, let's give her that. She looks better, but she's still always going to be. She's no longer just chopped liver. Now she's like liver pate, but still. I mean, there is that. Money can only get you so far. And then Andrew is here, by the way. So yeah. Hi, Andrew.
Andrew's here.
On vacation. And somewhere warm and tropical. Making everyone jealous.
Walking around without a shirt on.
Yeah. Andrew knows how to thirst trap on Instagram. Andrew, as Brittany says, work. Is that no? That's not Brittany. Well, she had that one song. You better work. Anyway, because Andrew does want a Maserati. Exactly, and that's the thing, right? That's the thing. I found it's not been cleaned up or anything, but I do have a coloring book where there is a G.I. Joe mask in it. Next year, there will be, I mean, it's not all in one book, but there's also a strawberry shortcake and an Ewok. So I've got a couple different masks that I'll do for shorts next year on Halloween, because that's how Well, I've finished all my Halloween content for the month, so it's time to plan next year. So there will probably be a GI Joe mask next year. She does have a cameo in it. Wonder Woman 1984 is rough and uneven. And there's a lot that should have not happened to that movie that did. But I also feel like they knew at that point there wasn't gonna be a Wonder Woman 3, so they crammed a bunch of stuff into it instead of making it one movie on its own. Because no matter what anybody says, the transformation of the cheetah should not have been off screen. And the fact that no special edition, no extras have popped up with that transformation scenes means they never filmed it.
Not once did they think that was a good idea.
So, which tells me it probably ended differently originally without her being the cheetah yet. And that the third one, because back in the day they were saying, oh, we've got a third one planned. You know, and it'll be a conclusion to the story. And my thinking is that originally at the end of 1984, when Cheetah loses her, you know, Barbara Minerva would have lost her extra powers because, you know, we've got the stone. That she then would have gone and followed a more comic-like trajectory of how the cheetah got her powers. Which involves selling her soul to like a dark cheetah god.
Like one does.
Like one does.
I mean, if I had a quarter for every time I sold my soul to a dark cheetah god.
There have been so many times where I've been like, man, I'm going to miss my bus. If only the dark cheetah god was handy. But alas, it's not the world we live in. All right, there we go. Sorry for the brief sneeze pause. I at least muted it. And then Andrew is home, tanned, moisturized, unbothered, hungover. So typical Sunday for Andrew. Kenzo is not dirty anymore, Chris.
Not after what he's done.
Not after what he's done. Yeah, the G.I. Joe mask will be fun. So it's just a generic soldier, as you do. And yeah, Andrew did sell it for a cheeseburger. That makes sense, right? You know, Apex Predator, cheeseburger. One of our kittens is one of the most lovey-dovey ones until he sees a bag of potato chips or a loaf of bread. And then he mounts it and starts ripping at it like you see those cheetahs do to like other animals on like the Discovery Channel. It's fun, and he does like the little and then his one brother Edmund runs around the house with the toy mouse and growls at everyone if they get too close. Every night when I go to bed and I pull my blanket back, there are like 7 mice on my side of the bed. So he's at least, here, Mama, here's some mice, let's eat.
He's concerned about you.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how they, you know, especially when they're first learning how to hunt. They bring the mice home to share. So, but anyway, yeah, we should have gotten a Barbara Minerva cheetah transformation on screen. You know, like if you don't even know who the cheetah is, you have no clue who that is in the movie.
I saw the movie and I still don't know who she is.
The CGI was not great either. I have that cheetah doll, like of her transformed, and boy.
I'm just hoping I can find the McFarlane cheetah figure that's apparently now starting to show up in the wild.
The superpowers? I mean, the super friends?
I've got the super friends.
Okay.
But there is a page puncher out there.
Oh. Which version of the cheetah?
It's Silver Age, like the Super Friends appearance,
Oh, okay.
but still.
So still no Debbie Domain. Okay, see you, Todd. No, Todd.
At this point, women are relegated to red platinum chases.
Yeah. He is going to do an ice. So.
Yep. Like I said the other day in chat, finally an ice we can cheer for.
Yeah. Oh, God, I just got that joke. I was being so literal. I'm like, she's had other good figures, Chris. Oh,
Nope.
my God. Oh, my God, I'm stupid.
No,
I just got that joke when you said it out loud. Okay. Oh, my God, I'm sorry I missed that the other day. That's hilarious. Oh, my
I'm
God.
like, I hope I don't fall afoul of the Discord rules that day, but...
Well, obviously, I missed the joke, so I think I'm sure somebody caught it. But then again, me not catching the joke probably helped. So, I'm like, oh, they're just talking about toys. And literally, I was, guys. Literally. Ugh. Exactly. And hello, Stu. How are you today? I need to ping you so that we can get you back on here for we'll do a Saturday afternoon since you're in England. Home of Big Ben. Bangers and mash. And Baby Spice.
Only Baby Spice.
And these are a few of my favorite things. No, I want at some point I need to get the Spice Girls dolls from the 90s.
You need to spice up your life?
I definitely do. People of the World and Allison, spice up your life. Like, I watched Spice World. I also worked at Blockbuster at the time, so it was one of the movies I could put into the screen without having some woman come and complain. How dare you put this movie in? There are children in here. And I'm like, ma'am, it's just Gremlins.
It's a Christmas classic. Come on.
Right? It's violent. I had a woman complain one time because we put in The Sound of Music. Although, in retrospect, it makes sense. So. It's funny, I was like, I'm going to color this different than the one I did for the short and the video, and pretty much I'm not. So I'm going to give her some red eyes, so that's red and gold, I guess. Do her hat like dark red, blood red. I just have a hard time sometimes, especially if I, like, seeing like some of these pages in different colors. That's why I don't redo pages, because even if I'm like, I will do it different this time, then I often don't redo it different. It's just the same damn thing. So
I did pick up a new coloring book this week, so I'm excited to go through that. I got the Bob's Burgers coloring book.
Ooh. Oh, I should send you the link. There was a DC Showcase coloring book that dropped that has like pages inspired by art from like 90 years of DC Comics.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Not anything I'd be into or whatever.
Not at all. It sounds nothing like any of your interests. Yeah, I did like a flip through on the channel. Because of course I did. Why wouldn't I? It feels so weird. People are like, will ask me about something, and I'm like, that's not useful for the channel yet. So no, not yet. And they look at me and they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, nothing. I'm like, wait, you don't know I do YouTube, and I don't want you to know.
It did feel weird in my recent experience explaining to people like I'm on YouTube. No, really, I am. Sometimes.
It's just a weird thing, like when you really stop and think about, you know. Every so often people will be like, well, what do you do on YouTube? I'm like, I color stuff from old coloring books and I talk about toys from the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and occasionally new ones if they fit my aesthetic. And they just look at me and like, oh.
Oh, did you get the She-Ra Swiftwind pack from Mattel Creations?
I did. I got two. One that I'm going to keep in the box to display because the packaging is great. And the other one to open. I just have so much to open. So I've got like 5. Well, technically, I found a box of vintage collection figures that I bought in 2008 and 2009 that are not open yet. So I've got stuff going back to 2008 that because I was in the middle of a move when I bought them. So I'm like, oh, I'll just put them right into storage. And when I buy my house, and of course, here we are decades later. Hello, Sight Beyond Sight. One of my olives. Hello, Brick, and thank you. Yeah. Also, yeah, this weekend I also hit 1,700 subscribers. So
dang.
I know, like, I'm almost popular. I mean, between the subscribers and membership.
Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
There we go. And to anyone who says you can't keep doing that,
Kalel, no.
I can. I can and I will. Can't stop, won't stop.
She's got the power of the button, people. She's gonna use it.
I'm going to use it. This is why they don't want me in charge of certain things, because I would use the button.
She'll let the monkeys out.
I will let them all out. Do not go to the zoo and like put me in charge of the zoo and then annoy me because yeah, it's over.
Ellison, I just want to thank you for not letting the monkeys out yet.
Right. So you're by the elephant enclosure, are you? Release the mice and then release the elephants. I've got a crush on you. Because, you know, if you're going to go big villain, you have to throw in the bad puns.
Oh, you have to, right?
You have to. It's just part of, you know, like it's part of the villain contract, bad puns. All right. So I just colored the eye different of the switch. I'm coloring the band of the hat different. And for the short and for the video, all bets are off after this. Let me just revert back to what I was doing before, you guys. Although I could give her fake ass blonde hair and make her look even more like my old miserable aunt. So, well, I mean, she's like almost 70. There's no way her hair is still blonde. We all know that that's a wig. It almost makes me want to go visit her before she dies so I can snatch it off her head in the middle of something. Oh my god, let's go get bottomless mimosas and like I'll buy because I want to make it up to you. And then halfway through rip her wig off.
Why did I think that I could stretch out a jack-o'-lantern 2 hours? That was
I don't know.
What a fool I am.
Well, you know. Better a fool with a pumpkin than a fool with no pumpkin.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I try to be helpful.
It's, you know, it's moments like that that really, you know, bring it all together.
This is why we're friends. You should. Everyone should sing that popular song, you guys. Popular. Right? Exactly, Mitwith card. Anyway. Speaking of monkeys.
Thank
my
you, CJ.
CJ is very supportive. CJ drew for me to color. Wait, let me do it in influencer voice. Come with me while I color this picture of Mrs. Voorhees that my fan and member and friend CJ made. Anyway, yeah, CJ did a Mrs. Voorhees coloring page for me. And hopefully I can get it done in time for Halloween. If not, the next Friday the 13th is in February. So if I cannot make it happen in time for Halloween, you'll get to see CJ's amazing Mrs. Voorhees art in February for the because that's the first Friday the 13th after the last one we had. Whenever that was, that mythical Friday the 13th that happened this year.
After the most recent one?
Yeah, I know it happened because I celebrate every Friday the 13th by watching Friday the 13th movies. And it's different than when I just put in Friday the 13th because I watch many of them, including one I don't like, which is Jason Goes to Hell, which is the worst movie ever made. If you told me you're going to have to watch Jason Goes to Hell or Tron Ares tomorrow, I would say, okay, so let's watch Jason Goes to Hell.
Okay, I don't think Tron Ares is that bad.
It's just boring. At least Jason Goes to Hell has stuff that's interesting in it.
Yeah, well, I think I left Ares saying the same thing. Like, I don't know why any of that happened.
Yeah, it's boring. It's just like, let's 3D print stuff, y'all, and make a movie.
3D print people.
Yeah, it feels like ChatGPT wrote that movie, honestly. Let's make us seem cool. We'll make a movie about 3D printing and AI.
And I know Brick liked it, and that's part of the reason I'm like, okay, you know what? I will go. And I thought it was a worthwhile watch for the visual spectacle.
You enjoyed it? Oh, I'm sorry, Brick. I did not. I thought it was boring. Boring, and like it dumped all of the promise of Tron Legacy, and like it was just a movie about nothing. Like the effects were great, the music was great. There's just not a movie there. And I mean, it probably, like it also, again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, it doesn't help that Jared Leto is, I mean, he's not Moby level because that would, like, there's only one Moby in my list of arch nemesises. But I also can't have Leto in my group of arch nemesises because one, I've never been in his cult, and two, I don't want to get punched out. So.
You could launch a Morby is trash banner, though.
I have not done the Moby is trash for a long time. Let's find it. Oh wait, it's in the banner section. Here we go. Oh, that's sad. I guess I can throw that. The original Tron is severely lacking in story as well. Visually, it's very stimulating, and it was very imaginative. It helped that it had a video game and arcades that you could go play to help extend the life of it. Tron Legacy had way more concept, and it had that Daft Punk score, which not even Nine Inch Nails will ever touch. But it also had an attempt at a story, and it did more to elevate the visuals so that it wasn't just looking at a pretty movie. Tron Ares just had visuals and seemed to be oddly pro AI and pro corporation, which couldn't do. So Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. So Laura Parlinkin, who we lost earlier this year. She was really sweet. I met her at a convention one time. That's true, actually, of all of the Friday the 13th actors and actresses I have met. They are all delightful people. except Kevin Bacon, and that's because I have not met him yet because I can't meet him. He's married to Kira Sidgwick, and if we met, our stars will collide, and I can't break up a marriage. So, again,
it's just, you care.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, it's fine that you think that, Brick.
Oh, no.
I mean, if you liked it, you liked it. Like, I'm not going to take that away from you. I just found it boring and insipid and empty. And again, Jared Leto.
I think Nine Inch Nails is the better band between them and Daft Punk, but Daft Punk was the better Tron soundtrack.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Trent Reznor just wants that you like an animal, so.
He just wants to feel you from the inside.
Yeah. You help him get closer to God or something.
Yeah, I mean, sure, his whole existence is flawed, but
He just wants you to bow down before the one you serve.
Nine Inch Nails got me some free beer at a bar, so it's all right.
Yep. 9 Inch Nails got me into 1005 Cielo Drive one time. Before they tore it down. Dun, dun, dun. All right, there we go. All right, she's different enough that if I keep reverting back to the way I colored her last time, it's still different. I'm going to give her blue hair. Because my aunt would hate that. She hates people with blue hair and with nose ring thingies. Also, based on all of her husbands and boyfriends, she hates orgasms. So.
Can I just become a sidekick? I just want to sit here and just be like, yes, ma'am, yes.
When we did the talk show, you could be my Ed McMahon. Chris, will you be my Ed McMahon?
Yes, 1,000 times. Yes.
Oh my God, we'll do a retro cavalcade where we dress as our favorite talk show host or whatever.
I once plotted to do like a fake late night show that was gonna be called Nothing Else Is On with Chris Plastic. Because nothing else is on with me.
Right? Oh my God. I think a lot of people had that. Okay, so let's break down the Tron HasLab really quick. I've done this elsewhere, so I am repeating this to anyone watching, I apologize. I'm not trying to be that bitch unless we're making fun of Gal Gadot. As an actress, not as a person, I'm sure she's a lovely person. I mean, she's gorgeous. But anyway. Okay, so here's the breakdown, in my humble opinion, of Tron the HasLab. It is at least $60 too much. And I say that because if you break it down by figure, currently the vintage collection toys, I believe, are $19.99. Now, somebody's going to say it's a Kickstarter. Exactly. Without sort of the baked-in cost, and that sort of brings it down when it's a retail thing. $25 per figure. It's about what you're going to pay with any company for a premium figure at 3.75, right? $24.99, $25. There are 5 figures, I think. So like $125 for the figures. It's got that Boss diorama. At retail, that diorama would not be more than $19.99 to $24.99. Again, premium, removing the retailer. Let's say $30. So that puts us at like what, $185 ish. No, wait, I'm bad at math. Yeah, that's like 155 ish. those vehicles, based on what we have seen, what they can and can't do, those are $30 tops. So 260, I don't know, 200 to me is the limit of what all of that is worth, even if we take into effect it's a non-retail premium release. And I say that heavily because I want that. I really want that set. Like, those figures are amazing. The diorama, like, it comes and it's like everything you need for a Tron collection. It's just it's $60 too much. And
What's really kind of funny is if you watch Tron Legacy,
Yeah.
which I have, those figures almost exist on
Yeah.
Sam's childhood bedroom.
And
It's
I
kind of
also
funny.
say I find it, and again, I'm not usually the like HasLab. Why? In this case, I'm kind of like HasLab. Why? I mean, I think for the whole set, yeah, it makes sense. But I honestly think you could get away with a wave or two of Tron figures at retail in that scale with that level of sculpting. So to me, it's a curious. I mean, if they release versions of those figures later at retail, I'm definitely will pick them up. But it just to me overall seems an odd. It's an odd Kickstarter in my opinion, and of course we also don't know, because it's a Disney property. We don't know what part of how that's being delivered to us, how much of the price. I mean, Tron's not Star Wars Marvel Legend. It's not even like Mickey Mouse, like Disney character level Disney. So I can't imagine royalty cut. The licensing should be that much. But who knows? There are a lot of corporations being super greedy right now because of decreased sales due to tariffs. So maybe Disney is one of them, and they're making it extra. Because Hasbro knows what sort of, I mean, people are like, Hasbro is super greedy, but Hasbro is usually pretty good about judging what fans will and won't pay. And it's just, again, Tron is not Star Wars, it's not Marvel. Yeah, there's a small dedicated fan base, but I haven't, everyone I know in any fan communities that were like, oh yeah, Tron. None of them are feeling the price. And it sort of mirrors what I'm saying. Everyone's like, these are cool. I really wish I could get it. It's too much. So it's my hot take. So
That take was burning hot.
I don't think you're wrong.
I'm with you though. That could have easily been a wave or two. Actually, you know what? A good place for I think a Tron figure would be is like the Super 7 reactions.
yeah, reaction and vintage. I mean, like, oh gosh, who has? There's a toy customizer who I've bought a few Star Wars toys from. I want to say Gary Weaver, but I may be wrong, and I apologize if I'm saying the wrong name. I'll do a correction on my community post if I discover I said the wrong name. But a few years ago, he did not only reproductions of the Tron, the original 3 3/4 Tron from the 80s, but he also expanded into other characters. And they were pretty perfect. So, I mean, I might just go that route. I mean, ultimately, to put the full thing together through a custom creator, it probably ends up $260-ish anyway. But there's a big difference on small toy creator, like a customizer who's making art pieces, custom, that are exactly the vibe you want, as opposed to, like, I don't know. I know some people are like, I don't get the difference, but it's like there's a difference. So yeah, it's again, and I feel like Hasbro knows this. Like, again, if this one feels like Disney saying, here's what the deal is. But yeah, what and this is true, and that the day of super profits are over. Corporations need to get where they need to sense the there's no way they don't, right? It was funny, the guy who used to work at Marvel Legends, I forget his name, that's been doing a couple interviews. He went on one of the toy podcasts. Can't remember which one. And he was talking about how, like, like Hasbro uses forecasting to predict what profits are. And I saw like 3 different videos of toy tubers like, oh my god, they use a thing called forecasting, and just going on and on. I'm like, do you not understand how businesses that make profits work? Like, forecasting is like every company in the world who has like any sort of anything, like, uses forecasting to figure, to project profits and to figure out how they expect a product's going to do. Like, it was just my reminder. It's like I need to be more discerning about who I watch on YouTube, because if you don't know companies use forecasting to track profits, then it's going to be really hard to take your hot takes on what Hasbro or Mattel is doing wrong. Make it much harder to take that serious because you don't know shit about any industry. I mean,
People forget there's a business to it.
they do, and like, I try to remember that, like, who's gonna buy this? Like, anytime I'm like, it would be really cool if they made this toy, and it's like, who's gonna buy it though?
Spoiler alert, me. It's always me.
It's often me, like, but at the same time, I'm a very niche collector, right? And it has to be what the fans sort of want, and I don't know. That's sort of a side note, but it's just, there are a lot of people who don't understand how corporations or any business works. You have all these hot takes on what the toy company should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing. And it's like, that's just not how it works, people. Like, I do think the days of super profits are over for a bit, and companies need to look back. I'd say the 2008 financial crisis and the way the economy sort of crashed there, and they need to look at that. And that needs to be where they're drawing their forecasting and their product launches and whatnot from, what was playing in 2008 to 2010. After the housing market sort of crashed and all that came with it. So that's my hot take. And that's sort of how I feel about the HasLab for Tron. It's just too much. And, some of that's Disney, I'm sure. And some of that's Hasbro's. Everything I've read about Chris Cox has not filled me with much faith about his leadership. They're trying to introduce right now, well, I think they already have to a degree, but they're trying to, like, really use AI in Dungeons and Dragons. And part of the reasoning is like, oh, well, Chris Cox has friends who love it and he uses it. And it's like, yeah. So anyway, AI, boo.
Suck it, Jared Leto.
Yeah, it all comes down to Jared Leto is almost as bad as Moby. And so,
I don't care if you are going to the South Side.
well, and this is so. Well, let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk about this for a second, Brick. Yeah, Star Wars and Marvel are struggling to keep their super profits, but the reason for that is, in the case of toys, I mean, I'm not talking Star Wars on whole. We could, but let's not. Part of what hurts Star Wars is that the brand, as far as toys, has not had a rest since 1995. And I know this because as I unpack all of my toys, I was going through 4 of the boxes that have Star Wars figures. When I say boxes, it says big giant U-Haul boxes where I just took things off my display shelf and threw them in the box. I've got 4 giant U-Haul boxes full of loose Star Wars figures from the last 35 years or whatever. It's 30 years since Power of the Force 2, right? It's a lot of figures, and they're duplicates, right? They're figures I bought 3 or 4 of, opened for display. But I've got stuff in there I forgot I had bought. I'm like, oh, I've got a bunch of these characters I was thinking about picking up. I don't need them. There's some stuff where it's like the sculpting was great, so I don't need the 17th version of it. I'm not all in for the Black series, so it's like I cherry pick my characters. Like my Black series consumption is very specific. It's like Leia, Padme, key characters, and then I want Black series representation of the first 21 figures that Kenner did. So again, super specific, and you know. And also, I don't feel a rush to get any of those characters in Black series because the first 21 characters that they released, for the most part, are popular enough. They're going to release them again. There'll be an archive series. There'll be a resculpt because that's just the model. Like, I don't feel panicked when I about missing a Star Wars figure anymore because, one, it'll end up discounted at some point, or if it doesn't, because it turned out to be one of the popular ones, they'll just re-release it in 5 to 10 years. I just have to be patient. And I think ultimately that's a big part of what's going on with Star Wars and Marvel is these toy line. Marvel technically has its roots going back to Toy Biz in 1989 when they released that first wave of Marvel superheroes. So I think a lot of what we're seeing is burnout of those of us who have been collecting for 30 years now. I mean, technically, I've been collecting since Star Wars in 1978, but there was a break in there, right? But I still have my 1992 Catwoman Kenner figure from Batman Returns, and so I think some of what both of those brands are experiencing is just burnout. Like, we've been collecting these toys for all these years, and there's never a break. And it also, they've both become legacy brands in a way where it's like, you know, the Kenner card style, which is my favorite, I'm a sucker for. I will sometimes pick up a figure I'm not particularly excited about because mint on card and a sort of vintage style Kenner card is just, you know, like serotonin, instant serotonin for me. But even that's starting to, like, it's not as exciting anymore because they've been doing it so long. I feel like what would best benefit Star Wars and Marvel is, well, Marvel is slightly different, but I think for Star Wars, like, if they were just to rest the toy lines for like a year or two and then come back with the proper relaunch, you know, we're sort of the way they piecemeal teams now is really frustrating. Like, it could take you 10 years to build an entire series, an entire set of like Rogue One. It could, you know, there are people trying to put Marvel teams together who it's like they got, say, like, this is just a generalization, don't at me because I don't collect Marvel Legends. I pick up a figure here and there. But like, if you're collecting Excalibur, 10 years ago you got a character from Excalibur. 3 years later you got 2 more. Nothing for 5 years. This year, 3 more. So, but you're still 3 or 4 figures short of your complete team. It's like, and I get, like, it's sort of the, well, this is the longevity, this is how you keep the line going. I think for something like Marvel, It's the exact opposite. Like, I think people get burned out that they can't complete these teams. And people buying Marvel Legends want to complete teams. So if you spend 2 years and you do every Excalibur character and people can complete an entire Excalibur team, then you move on to the next team. And I think, I don't know. I just know I'm curious to see what Mattel is going to do with DC. And I'm hoping they continue this superpowers form factor and give us some of the women so that I can have a decent superpowers display. But I hope they also give us some better sculpts, because DC Universe Classics, whatever it was, under Nutlick, gave us some good figures, but it also gave us some really derpy figures. So
Yeah, I still have a lot of DC UC on my shelf, and some of it's rough.
yeah, a lot of and this is true of Masters of the Universe Classics, like, and it's not the people are like, Four Horsemen sculpted them. I'm like, yeah, but they didn't. The final sculpt approval was the brand manager, and a lot of the women faces that happened under Nutlick are just super derpy. Like, they're derpy or they're porn star. They all have sort of this vacant look. And, I think that's just his aesthetic, and more power to him if that's what he likes. But it's just tedious as far as if you're trying to collect a proper thingy. So, there we go. All right. I'm going to have to change phones pretty soon because it's giving me the warning that mine is about to die, but that's fine. We still have like an hour. We'll do it. Oh, you're doing the wizard.
Yeah, I've jumped from pumpkin to cat, now to wizard.
Excellent. Oh, you did do the cat. Sorry. It happened so quick while I was rattling on.
It's all right.
Oh, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, I think some of it is if they rested it, then everybody would be excited because they're new Star Wars toys. Power of the Force, too, half of how they got away with deep cuts is we were just excited to get Star Wars characters again. And I think the joy of getting toys has been lost. For Star Wars, anyway. Like, so here's, if anyone from Mattel is watching this, and in this day and age, it's possible somebody from Mattel does watch my channel, who might be working on DC. I know I'm not confirming or denying, but it's possible. I would say, if that were happening, if I were at Mattel and I were going to do DC, I would do this. I would have, and I know this sounds slightly over the top, but I would have 4 different scales. I would do superpower scale, and all of those figures would be 100% based on nostalgia, and you would launch with 12 figures just like Kenner did, and you would do everything would be from that style guide by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez for like the first 2 to 3 years, with a focus on getting the characters that were in that style guide that didn't get made. So you get your Teen Titans, you get your Justice League. Yes, it means a Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman rehash, but I think there are enough core characters that you can do 2 to 3 years with very minimal repacks of revamps of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and you could get a couple different Green Lanterns, not just Hal Jordan. Next line, I would do like a 6-inch scale that's more kid oriented, cheaper price point, not the paint apps for kids to actually play with. And And then next up, I would do a more collector's focus line that's scale would be a little all over the place with the, and it wouldn't call it classics, wouldn't call it multiverse or whatever, but the point would be it would be collector's niche, but it'd also be there to help people who collected all of the DC Universe classics and who collected McFarlane stuff to fill in blanks in those collections. And then the fourth line would be a Wonder Woman line for girls, in the vein of Princess of Power. They did pretty good with the DC Hero Girls. I've got most of the figures of that, but without the cutesy faces and a little bit more comic accurate, because I think there was good buy-in for the DC Girls line as far as actual kids, but we all sort of know you also at this stage need that adult toy collector money, and you're way more likely to get that if they're a little bit more comic accurate. So that's what I would do. And yeah, exactly. And you could really, with the sort of finger quote collectors line and the superpower, like for superpowers, this is your roadmap. These are the main teams. These are who you start out with. 12 figures a year, 4 villains, 8 heroes. You know, and then as it gets better, if you start making money, then you add waves and you do 24 to 36, however many a year actually will sell. So
I just hope they do better this time than the last time they had the license, because
well, last time they had the license, for the most part, it was under Nightlick, whatever. And then when he left, somebody inherited it from them.
well, and it was chaotic.
Yeah.
Because well, it first started with the Batman line. They had Batman, just Batman.
Yeah.
And they went DC Superheroes, which was just Batman, Superman.
Yeah.
Because again, that's the license they had. Then DC Universe Classics. And then that went away for DC Total Heroes, which then went away for DC Infinite Heroes. Then they launched their DC Multiverse, which was kind of just a relaunch of DC Universe Classics. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, they were all over the place. But it also, that was partly, again, I hate to keep invoking them, but like,
If you say his name one more time, he might appear.
Beetlejuice. Yeah, so that was just sort of like his throwing stuff at the wall, trying to get something to stick. But you know, he had really specific ideas about what toys should and shouldn't be. And I think in some cases he's valid, but I think the problem is with DC Comics, it's, you have such a, you know, like, sorry Tony, I know you're watching it. You have such a diverse cast of characters, but you also have such a diverse fandom. Like, you've got the people who have been reading, like myself, like you, who have been reading DC Comics probably their entire lives, and have, you know, like, know all of the lore, know all of the history, know all of the characters, and can keep all of the histories, you know, like pre-crisis, post-crisis, post-Zero Hour, post-Infinite Crisis, post-Final Crisis, post-New 50, you know, post-Flashpoint, New 52. Like, we can keep almost all of that straight in our head because, like, we're into it. So, like, for us, like, there's different needs as opposed to, like, Jimmy, who saw the Superman movie, right?
Right.
And he just wants what he saw in the movie. Or people who only know it from the Super Friends cartoon. And I will say Todd has gotten better. This is one of the few times I'm going to compliment Todd. But as the DC line has gone, I've noticed he's got the Super Friends line that is something fans have actually really, really wanted. Super Friends, but like the Superpowers line is still kind of a mess and probably dead at this point. Because he didn't do any reveals for it that I saw over the last few days. But
He's talked about relaunching it with Spawn. You know, not actually superpowers, but something in
right,
that
the
style.
scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might pick up the Spawn in that scale to mix with them so that, you know, real superheroes can see what a pretender superhero is. Just kidding. I know people love Spawn. But yeah, I don't know. I think if I were Mattel, obviously has a lot to sort, but I would do that. I would do a superpowers line. I would do a girls line, and I would do sort of a collector's or a kids line that's just for, you know, because Spin Masters has been done pretty well with their kid lines. You know, some of it has sort of sat. Their kids line for the Batman movie sat for a while. But I'm going to say that's kind of because the Batman movie was not really kid friendly.
I wouldn't argue that. I mean, I love that movie, but it's not.
I enjoyed it
kid-friendly.
quite a bit, but that's not a movie I would have actually. I was surprised that they did some toys from that one. So, but yeah, but I think that, and then you do a collector's line where you can do 6-inch, 7-inch. You can sort of mix and match it so that fans who have been collecting get stuff, but then people who haven't been can get stuff that is compatible with Marvel Legends. Because I do feel like that is part of what hurts Todd, is that those toys don't mix. And with DC, you kind of need it to mix. Oh, and I just lost my camera, so. But we've got backup for a reason. Boom, boom, boom. Uno momento, por favor.
No, I agree with you on your thoughts on the superpowers line. The only thing I'd like to see beyond that is throw a little bit into the 90s. Like, I think it would be really cool to see, you know, the death and reign of Superman in superpowers. You know,
Right.
I'd love to see you know, the whole Nightfall arc.
Well, yeah, I think that is all necessary and needed, but I think because of what superpowers is, you kind of have to do, you have to close out the 80s stuff so that you can restore people's faith in you. Well, not necessarily you, but in the scale. Because I think Todd has, unfortunately for some people, really sort of left a bad taste in their mouth, if you will.
I mean, I am quite literally wearing a McFarlane Toys t-shirt right now.
Nice.
But that toy company is so schizophrenic sometimes with their decision making and the toys they want to put out. And their fans are hardcore. Like, Todd can do no wrong for a certain set.
Yeah, and that's a problem. Like, because everyone sucks at some point.
I mean, you sit in with anything with Todd and you're going to burn at least 20 minutes of an hour of him talking about how great he is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the one big benefit of just being a giant faceless corporation is I don't have to listen to Mikey Mattel talk about how he reinvented the world.
All right. What is it doing? Oh, StreamYard. Oh, I wasn't accepting all the cookies.
Oh, that'll do it. Careful. Some of those
Yep.
cookies could have weed in them. According to Brick something. I guess it depends on your market. You're in an appropriate state for that. Oh, is it Thanksgiving in Canada? I'm not cool. I'm not international.
Oh,
I
I
don't
know
know these
that.
things.
That would explain, though, some stuff. Good Lord, StreamYard. Since I'm using my backup phone that I've not used on StreamYard since they did their last update. I'm having to redo all.
I think coffee also brings out the brighter notes of cocoa. Brick. Let me just be a square here and rain on all the fun.
All right, let's see if it works. Okay.
All right.
And we're back. It's only a slight echo.
The slightest.
All right. And hello, Ria. Happy Thanksgiving to you. All right. Yeah, that can happen. So. All right. The day is saved. Thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. So anyway, before all the technical stuff, yeah, that's what I would do if I were at Hasbro. I mean, Mattel.
Yeah, I'll be intrigued to see what primary scale they go with on the collector side, being that, right now they're carrying 2 different scales in their adult collectibles.
Well, what's funny though is if you listen to them, Classified and Black Series are the same scale. But they're kind of not, so.
Well, because Masterverse is 110, right?
Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm still thinking Hasbro. Yeah, exactly.
And then WWE is 112.
Yeah, I am curious actually about that. Maybe they will do 7-inch again. So they can do their Masterverse crossover with DC stuff. I need DC and Origins though.
That has to happen.
And it's just like,
It's right there, people.
when I got the Funko crossover series and it just wasn't as good. I felt like a lot of the designs on those were uninspired. And the only things I thought worked from it were the Batcave playset, which I have. I had to stop and look and make sure it was in fact the Batcave. And I did like the Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman's had so many looks like that it's pretty much comic accurate to at least something that's appeared in the last 30 years of Wonder Woman. I think that's part of though why I felt like the Primal DC line through Funko was such a disappointment is there are so many in comic stories where they've gone to some sort of savage, like between Elseworlds and other stuff. There are designs for each of those characters in sort of a Savage Land Primal Age look that it
Oh,
just
absolutely.
was baffling to me that they made up stuff that looked bad. I mean, I collected them all, don't get me wrong, but
I actually didn't buy any of it. I bought a Joker for a nephew, but I didn't buy any of it. I just wasn't happy with the character selection.
I have 2 Wonder Women because when I make my, which I may not need to make now, but the goal was when I made my Origins Wonder Woman, I was going to use the 2 Funko Wonder Women as like Amazon guards. But I don't, the plastic on them was really cheap also. Very brittle. At least, like I had ordered the Superman. No, I'm sorry, not the Joker through Amazon, and it arrived broken in the package. The arm had fallen off. So I sent it back. And then later on eBay, I saw somebody selling it as a manufacturer's variant.
Oh, broken.
Yeah, it was just broken. Like, sir, you need you to step back.
I'm going to step away for a second. I'll be right back.
All right. Let me get everyone in the right place while he does that. There we go. Yeah, they're not, even though they should be. So, at some point, I have a Ewok Leia and a Kiko. I think that's her name. Then I'm going to head swap to make my Jedi Leia. And hello, Rowdy. Lovely to see you today. I hope you are well. Now, there was just one Wonder Woman. I just bought 2. And so, but yeah. So yeah, I will probably finish the witch. I don't think we'll get to the clown. So I'll just have to save the clown for another day because we're about 20 minutes out and I've got a hat. I mean, I've done the clown already. The flip through video does have that on there. So there we go.
All right.
Everything come out all right?
Yeah, everything worked as expected.
There we go. Just got to make sure. That wizard looks like he just asked you if you had a doobie. I gotta say though, of all of my vintage coloring book pickups, this mask one is one of my actual favorites. There's some great art in it.
Oh, you know what? That's a 10-point deduction from Brick Something for referencing Scott Baio.
Oh. Didn't they do a Zapped too? Not like they did a direct video and cable sequel. I'm sure Scott Baio was fine. Like, his unemployment will hold up. Let's see. Now I have to know.
I'm looking it up. Oh, Zapped Again, which is a direct-to-video sequel with none of the original cast, I think.
Huh. It does have Linda Blair in it, though. Wow, it looks exactly like you would expect a direct-to-video sequel.
Now, is Zapped from 2014 a remake?
Is there an entire Zap cinematic universe that we don't know about?
All I know is Zapped from 2014 stars Zendaya.
Oh,
It was a Disney Channel original.
then probably not a remake, because a big part of Zapped was making women's dresses fly up, which, you know, is definitely in line with stories we've heard about Scott Baio. So,
You know what? He was, in fact, though, for a time, in charge of our days, in charge of our
yeah.
nights, in charge of our rights and our wrongs.
Oh, Charles. Yeah, that movie does not hold up. It didn't hold up back then, though. That's the thing. Some things were not classics, no matter how many times HBO tried to make us think they were. Hello, Nolan. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving or whatever. If it's tomorrow, that means it coincides with Indigenous Peoples Day here. So that's cool.
Which, of course, means I'm working tomorrow.
I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to work on organizing stuff. And by organizing stuff, I mean I'm going to paint. There's that, everyone who collects toys has seen it on Amazon, but it's like that, those gray cliffs. And I painted mine hot pink. And I'm going to dry brush some gold onto it tomorrow for part of my Princess of Power display. I'm going to cut some shimmer fabric that I have. And then I bought last year's hottest Christmas item, which is this big magic mirror that reveals a fairy doll in it. But I'm going to use the magic mirror for my She-Ra display. Because it's pink, the right kind of pink to be part of She-Ra. I'm going to have to do the spell to release the doll. So I'll probably do that tomorrow so that I can get the She-Ra display set up, because I finally found all of my Princess of Power stuff. And I got some acrylic risers for some of the figures to stand on, plus museum wax. So, and I've got about half of one of the Leia shelves put together. But I need to move some more stuff so I can get to the box that has the rest of the Leia stuff in it. I was not as orderly over the last 15, 20 years as far as how I packed everything for the big unpacking. But soon, everything will be in place. Yeah, there you go, CJ. There's a way to get that out of your head. And the way you do that is you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life.
The facts of life.
There's a time you got to go and show you're growing and you know about the facts of life.
The facts of life.
When the world never seems to be living up to your dreams, well, suddenly you're finding out the facts of life is all about you. Woo-woo, all about you. It takes a lot to get them right when you're learning the facts of life.
The facts of life.
You're welcome.
The other suggestion I had for getting that song out of your head involved a drill, but whatever.
Do that too, Release the Kraken.
I'm gonna lose 10 pounds manually.
There, I don't know if I can even talk about it on YouTube without getting kicked off, but there's this weird thing where people drill holes in the top of their skulls to like lighten the pressure, and it apparently makes them smarter.
Of course.
And I knew somebody I worked with at Blockbuster, and she had that done. Anyway.
Yeah, but you're talking to somebody who has a magnet put against his head 5 days a week to make him feel better. So
yeah, but you don't have a hole in your. You didn't literally go put a hole in your head with a drill, so you could be smart. And I'm gonna spoiler alert: it did not work.
Maybe it worked by now. I don't know.
It definitely did not. R.I.P. Kelly.
Oh no.
I mean, it wasn't because of the hole in her head, but I'm gonna say the hole in her head didn't help. And to be fair, she lost the leg to gangrene before that after really poor advised. There was a car accident and her leg got really messed up. Well, she was on a motorcycle and crashed into a car because she'd been to what I think the kids call it horse. Is that what the kids call it? Anyway, she was very much her own heroine, if you know what I mean. And drove her motorcycle basically into a car at a stoplight, mangled her leg, and then thought, boy, I bet that vein that I can see hanging out of my leg would be a great place in this hospital to so gangrene set in at that point. And after that it was just all downhill. So I'm just gonna say, guys, don't get a hole in your head to help you be smarter, because so far in the one person I know who has tried it, it definitely did not work. And so anyway. Oh, that's a good one. Yep. Yeah, sometimes you got to keep the band together, Alex. Well, no, it was his mom who sang that song, Gloria Loring. His dad sang the Growing Pains theme song, right? Or was it it was he did not I don't think he did Family Ties, because anytime, there's no way Alan Thicke would say, I bet we've been together for a million years, when he dumped every one of his wife for much younger women. I mean, there was a time Christy Swanson, who was 16, was on his show, and then they dated. And then he broke up with her because she had a drug and alcohol problem.
Like you do.
Like you do when you're Christy Swanson. She and I got onto it on Twitter one time. I was like, well, I'm glad you're not my favorite Buffy. This would suck otherwise. She just didn't appreciate it when she was on there talking about family values. And I'm like, well, where's the family values in the fact that you met your husband, a professional ice skater, on Skating with Stars, and you're not a star? And he was married and his wife was pregnant, and then you hooked up with him and now you're married to him. I was like, what part of family values is that, Christy? So anyway, it just devolved from there. Not as bad as the time Kirstie Alley and I got into it on Twitter. And I'm like, you're a washed up has-been, and the only thing meaningful left for you to do is die. Anyway, a week later, Kirstie Alley died. Anyway.
She sure showed you.
She definitely did. I will say though, and in my defense, she was a 9th level Phaeton, and at that point, you are allegedly able to, if you've done it right, cure yourself of any disease, any cancer, or anything. So really, she just wasn't doing her lessons.
I've never had a good celebrity beef. It's lacking in life.
I stumble into them all the time, often with people I don't realize are a celebrity until I go a couple rounds with them. I mean, James Wood, everyone knows though that James Wood blocked me on Twitter because I talk about it because it's a badge of honor. He did not block me when I said he could not act his way into a paper bag, much less out of one. He blocked me when I told him Sean Young out-acted him in The Boost. And then I was like, you're the guy that Sean Young out-acted in The Boost. Sean Young, the worst actress ever. Think about it. That's what got me blocked. And then somebody was like, well, she stalked him for a while. I'm like, well, whatever. And don't come at me on YouTube. On Twitter, unless you want me to resurrect your old stalker that you were in a movie with called The Boost. So, anyway. Did she? I don't know if she did. Let's see. Let's take a look. Kristy Swanson, movie roles that matter. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't pull anything up. She was pretty good in Deadly Friend. She did not appear as the Ice Princess. The Ice Princess was played by Kristy Conaway, who actually does kind of look like her. Let's see what Kristy Conaway is up to now, and see if I need to go pick a fight. I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I can't pick a fight with her.
It's better to not be there.
Unless she gets on Threads or Blue Sky. But let's see. Born August 14th, 1964, so she's age appropriate for a beef. She's now a designer. In 2002, Conaway left her acting career to become a fashion designer. She started with scarves, but later on expanded her line to include sweaters and silk dresses. And in 2004, she added a men's collection. She was in a Woody Allen movie.
I was going to say she's in Time Cop, but not the movie.
After Sun Yi, so let's see. Just quickly, she's from Lubbock, Texas, so she's kind of from my part of the world. Kinda. Oh, she's not a designer anymore. Her website goes to the web archive. Sorry, Kristy. But yeah.
It's too bad she just added that men's line in 2004.
Yeah, I know, right? Oops. Well, I mean, he blocked me first, but I mean, again, I stuck to his acting and not his bad thinking. So, oh, yikes. Where was that, CJ? We might have crossed paths in the real world. It could have been me. Anyway.
It was Allison all along.
It was Allison all along. It was you. It was always you. Anyway. Let's see. We've trashed wannabe celebrities. Made fun of James Woods, as you do. I'm almost done with my witch's hat. We've slandered Moby. Well, it's not slander if it's true. We've discussed uncomfortable truths about the asshole that is Moby. And, of course, for all of my olives, all of my channel members,
Bring out the olives. Bring out the ops. Bring out the ops.
And of course,
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
all right.
Mentos, the fresh maker. Mentos, the fresh maker.
Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone else in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone. What happened to it?
So if anyone knows where the stone is, please let Gal Gadot know. My guess is it's at the bottom of the ocean with her talent. So
But could you imagine all the people? Sorry, I just terrible.
Okay, unpopular opinion here. I didn't find that as cringy as everyone else did. I mean, it wasn't good, but I didn't like. People were acting like those people got on the internet and like said the N-word or something. It's like, y'all, they're just trying to entertain you. They're trying.
I'll give you that. I mean, ultimately, it's like swing and a miss for me, but whatever.
Was it tone deaf? Yes. Was it misguided? Yes. But it came from a place of like trying to be kind. Like they wanted to do something good, and sometimes it's about the intent and not the execution, which is something I had to tell my aunt the time I missed her with my car. She's much slower now. But yeah.
Also, get yourself a hybrid pre-2012. She won't hear you coming.
She'll never hear it. Well, at this point, she probably won't either if she takes her hearing aids out. Oh, my aunt. I hope she enjoys this picture I just colored of her. I would have given her fake teeth like my aunt has and bleach blonde wig stuff, but it's like, let's just give her old lady blue hair. So. It's like one time my aunt was like, I'll get you my pretty and your little dog too. And I'm like, one, I don't have a dog. And two, you can't even get a man, much less me. So there you go. She also just likes when I call her a groomer. Because she used to, when she was 40, she was dating 20-year-olds. So I was just like, you're a groomer. So, anyway, she'll die alone.
You get what you get, you know.
Yeah, you know. All right, and we are at 2 hours, so I guess we should start wrapping it up. You have been super productive today, Chris. Let's see all of your completed pages.
We've got the wizard. We have this cat.
Kitty. Those eyes look really good, Chris. Like, that's a really nice eye technique you've got there.
I appreciate that. And then this jack-o'-lantern.
He looks very good too. Again, you have gotten really good at shading. Like, he's very well shaded. Like, I like the orange. It's darker, it's lighter. You've even got like a light source, Chris. You're an artist now.
Oh no. Too much pressure.
Seriously though, those look really good, Chris. Remember how you started? And you're like, I color terribly. You're coloring really good now, Chris.
Well, thank you.
One day you could be as popular as me on the YouTube.
One day.
One day. Anyway, I did my aunt. I mean a witch. If you're watching Auntie, just remember I don't want anything when you die, so hurry up. And on that note, there we are. All right. And we're back. All right, Chris, where can the people find you?
I'm working really hard on not being found anywhere, but
Oh,
there
no.
are proof of my existence at Shiny Plastic People, aka SPP Toys, here on YouTube and most socials.
And also, look, Brick agrees. And so does CJ. So that sounds amazing, Brick. So quickly, let's plug Brick's channel. Go watch Brick.
He's
Yeah.
wonderful people and creates great content.
Even if you like that Tron movie with what's
Not
his face?
everybody's perfect.
I know, it's true. Only me. I'm just kidding. All right, let's see. So yeah, go watch Chris's channel. The link should be, if you click on the link in the description of the video, it should take you to Chris. I think most of the people who are here with us are subscribed to you, but just in case they're not, go subscribe to Chris. He's good people. He's never gotten to internet beef with somebody, wish them dead, and then a week later, Christy Alley dies.
Yet.
But she can only die once, so so that'll never happen.
Well, sure.
So, all right, let's see. For my channel, tomorrow there will be a coloring book flip through and coloring of Alien from 2017. There's a coloring book of the Alien movies. So check that out. Spooky season. Coloring shorts next week will be Dragstore from Masters of the Universe, Janine from Ghostbusters, and Lydia and Beetlejuice from the Beetlejuice cartoon. Plus on Wednesday there will be a Star Wars 1977 Kenner Dip Dots design book. I have finished all of the pages from that book. So there's a flip through of my completed pages and then coloring of the last page. Next Saturday, Color and Chill Strawberry Shortcake for the people who love that. And then next Sunday, I will be here with Janessa J. Champagne, and we're going to color spooky stuff. So we're still trying to figure out what we want to watch. So yeah, what we want to watch, what we want to color. But she likes horror movies. I like horror movies. It's that time of year, so we'll find something. And on that note, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all the YouTube things. If you would like to become a member, you can click on the join. It will go over what's there, what's not. There are currently members only content. There's some members early content, so there's stuff there. You get your money's worth.
Kalel, no.
Unless you're Gal Gadot, then don't. Anyway, and anyone who joins, who becomes one of my olives, you get...
Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive. Bring out the olive.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
You Gal don't want to miss it.
I adore you, Chris. This is why Chris is one of my favorite people. All right, on that note, we're going to leave you with this banger from the 80s. Everyone, have a great rest of your weekend. If you are in Canada, have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. And if you're in the United States, tomorrow is Indigenous Peoples Day. I will be celebrating my grandfather who grew up on a reservation. So, I adore you all. I will see you next time.
I haven't made up my mind yet. Incidentally, which one of you bitches is my mother?